Hey now, it's official. No show in 2 weeks. Just letting you know. Hey, what up, everybody? Show 207 here, the Pucknologists. We welcome you back in for another completely live, unfiltered, unedited, uncensored, commercial-free Sharks podcast. And I think we just gotta say, has the Sharks sent out their "We wish you were you" tweet yet to the 49ers?
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come as soon as Ayuk cut that first pass. It's just like Game 7, guys.
Oh man, put it
I'm
up,
sorry,
reset the counter.
I don't want to be a douche, but like it's low hanging fruit.
Oh baby, still nutritious. It's your first time checking out the cast. Make sure to hit like and subscribe on whatever platform you digging us on, and we're on all that social media stuff. So there you go. All right, I was gonna say something funny and inspired and creative right here, but I'm afraid the Sharks might use it on a T-shirt or something, so I'll keep it to myself. Ha ha! If you know, you know. All right, so what happened this week? Shootout win, overtime win, and then another thumping from Buffalo.
Yeah, the only difference being this.
Good night,
time
everybody.
Around, I was gonna say the only difference this time around is the last game they got smoked by Buffalo from minute 1 to minute 60. This time they actually made it somewhat interesting and then completely crumbled. So progress? Question mark.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I picked you up since I know you're such a pin hound. I picked you up a pin of the new NorCal logo, and then I'm like, wait a minute, his connection's probably going to come through. I just wasted $20.
maybe that could be a giveaway.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see. LA. All right, shootout win down there. First time. Dude, Couture came back and everybody was like, this team will never lose again.
No kidding. I mean, I know, like, we know what the season is, right? But I thought it was really awesome, a real good kind of galvanizing moment for him to come back, made an impact. I believe he had an assist in that first game, and a bit short on the ice time. We'll get into that at the end of the show, but he seemed like he was as fresh as could be. Like there was no sort of cobwebs needed to be dusted away,
Yeah, oh, dude, and he was banging the body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it seemed like he wasn't hurt, I guess is my point,
Yeah, but he was, dude, I was like, wait a minute. When did he start running people? The really funny thing, though, was after the second game, after they got that victory in overtime with, I don't know, were you paying attention to Hertl? Dude, I thought he was going to snap his twig calling for the puck in OT, dude.
Yeah, he really wanted that one, did he not?
Dude.
Hey, but that's good, right? That you that sort of intensity, right? Like you want that intensity,
Oh, hell yeah. But the I'll tell you the thing that was I don't know, baking my noodle a little bit, buttering my toast, if you will. The fact that the post game after the Rangers was just like, feels like this is, the Sharks have turned a corner. I'm like, after 2 games?
Well, how many more corners to go, right?
Yeah. And against 2 struggling teams, like LA's woes have been well documented.
Yeah, I'm
and you still had to go to a shootout.
Yeah, and yeah, no kidding. I'm kind of surprised, to your point, as tragic as it's been for LA in 2024. The fact that it still had to go to a shootout is kind of like maybe there's a few more corners along the way.
Well, and I've been harping on this all season, have I not, about the first and last 3 minutes of a period?
Mm-hmm.
And every fucking Kings goal came within the first or last 3 minutes of a period.
Yeah, you got to play till the whistle, right?
Jeez, it's like, come on already. And I think I tweeted this out as well. LeBank's ass was stapled to the bench this entire week. And I think at one point I was just like, I really hope LeBanc is enjoying his final year in the NHL.
Yeah, no kidding. It kind of feels like, that's where things are headed, does it not?
Bro, like, you can't crack this lineup? Oh, Mitya coming in again. Thank you, good sir. Niners. Hell yeah. At least
Niners.
somebody around here can win a fucking game once in a while. No. I'm all for it, man. Lose, baby, lose. Right where we want you. Looking at Celebrini hard. What was it, 25%, right? That's where the odds go.
Yeah, I believe so. It might be 25 and some change.
All right. Yeah, I'll take it though. 1-4, baby. Come on. I still feel like they're going to figure out a way to give it to Chicago. But and then the other thing about New York, it was I was surprised that we didn't hear people talking up the whole third game in 4 nights, second night of a back-to-back on travel, against a good team that didn't play the night before. So so the fact that the Sharks did win, is kind of like, hey, not bad.
Hey now.
Yeah, hey now. And the fact that they came back from a 2-0 deficit? When was the last time you saw it? Like, dude, for the most part, when the Sharks have gone down 2 goals this season, it's like, all right, so is there something else we want to binge watch? Another show we got to catch up on here? But to see them come back, and then, dude, it's Sturm and Carpenter? And then you see Rutta, dude. A Rutta slapper that Carpenter deflects. Then Rutta is the one that fed Hertl in the overtime. So I think what I'm kind of saying is maybe I'm going to get my hero out of the way early. I don't know. But then we run into what we run into yesterday with the Pride Day game. I don't know why they kept calling it Pride Night. Game started at 1 p.m., people. But you know what? The bucket hat back here. It's a cool little bucket hat, dude. People were rocking the bucky. But this time, I'm sitting here talking, the Sharks came back from having, or being down 2 goals. And then what happened versus Buffalo? Vlasic and Rutta. Rutta again, look at that. But, dude, they give the Sharks a 2-0 lead, and you're like, God damn, are they going to win all 3 games? Oh, never mind. It's gone.
Well, again, this is just another example of like, and I was explaining, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was having this conversation with somebody where it's like, when the Sharks, whatever the situation in the game is, leading, trailing, whatever, you just kind of take a step back and you just think like, can we have anything? Like, can we just, like, I know the idea is to lose and all this kind of stuff, but like, you're up by 2 goals. Like, can we just have that one?
Well, no, see, I'm much more like, okay, can we just have the number 1 pick this time? I'm fine with that. Don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you make a good point on that front.
Oh, man. But Buffalo scores 5 straight, including 2 within that 3-minute time window that I was telling you about, plus the empty netter. So, well,
I just hope, like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of at the point, I mean, at least I think, where it's like, I think people are starting to look towards next year. I mean, I certainly am. And, like,
next season, not next year.
Yes, correct. Next season. Like, I don't know. Like, are the Sharks just destined to do this again next year? I really hope not.
Dude, there was a article on The Athletic. I can't remember who wrote it, but it was basically, where is every team in 5 years? And the Sharks were still listed as 32nd 5 years from now.
See, that just feels like unfair.
Well, it feels unfair because, I mean, let's be honest. You don't know what Big Money Mike's going to be doing between now and 5 years from now. Who's to say that they don't finally find a consistent goaltender? Who's to say they don't find somebody to replace Boyle, Burns, Carlson?
Yeah, I mean,
There might be.
There's
They could
a
be
lot
out
of
there.
options. There's a lot of factors. Like, I mean,
Certainly have enough picks.
that's why I'm not a fan. That's why I'm not a fan of, like, where is so and so in 5 years, because it's like, we like you don't know anything. Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. Like, and I you mentioned Eric Carlson, right?
Oh,
Like, like, remember, the summer that the Sharks acquired him. Like, I remember 2 months, before the Sharks acquired him, it was like, oh, this is probably what the Sharks will look like in 5 years. And then they acquired Eric Carlson. It's like, great, start over now. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
that's the thing that was cracking me up coming into the football playoffs is that
mhm.
there was some article on whatever platform, it was a somewhat respected platform like The Athletic or whatever. It wasn't some gong show like USA Today or something, but they had. Have you ever seen some of the stuff the USA? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think like my favorite Twitter account might have been talked about in a copy. But anyway, they had the experts giving their prognostications. I shit you not, dude. This guy, like the Thursday before before wild card weekend, homeboy had Detroit over Dallas in the NFC Championship game.
And then what happened?
Yeah. And then, oh my God, dude, some of the Super Bowl picks, I was just like, okay, so based on this, we can get rid of that whole experts tag, can we not?
Right. Well, because, I mean, you're only an expert if you're correct. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you only have to be
Like,
wrong once.
right. Anything other than that, it's just, it's really just a best guess based on the data.
Yeah. And it's like anybody can do that. And the whole thing, garbage in, garbage out with some of the data.
Right.
Just saying. And then, of course, how Sharks is it this season that the Sharks get Couture back the same game they lose Ferraro? they're top defenseman.
That's how they drew it up.
Oh my God! I'm like, are you kidding?
I'll tell you what, I don't mean to get the tinfoil hat on or anything like that, but the more, I don't know, man, the more that I kind of read the tea leaves on what's going on with a certain hometown team of a player you just mentioned, I'm starting to wonder if maybe there could be a fit there.
Wait, what?
Talking about Ferraro to the Maple Leafs.
Oh, there you go.
I don't. Again, not to say that any conversation has been had, but it is something that I think logically makes sense, and I think kind of like what's been talked about, last year. Like, some teams have kind of sniffed around, so it is unfortunate if he is available, that the injury came when it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either way, I was just like, good Lord. It doesn't look like it's going to be too long. And
I hope not. You don't want anybody to be hurt.
Of course not. And the whole thing is like, you know what? If it's going to happen now, at least there's only 2 games left, and then you got basically 2 weeks off.
Yeah, no kidding. It could not have come at a better time.
Exactly. So, and then I'm assuming Granlund probably be out during all that time as well.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. Like what? I mean, I was saying it last week. I'm like, Couture, I was a little nervous about, and it's like, why even? Like maybe you should give him a little more time to work it out. But like we said, dude, Chief was banging the body. And it's like, no, he looks fine. Let him go.
Yeah, he seems all right.
He good. Let's go. Hey, how's that pick from Pittsburgh looking so far? Is it still looking about 15th right now?
Let's see. Because I was thinking about that. It's like, it's almost, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago too, where it's like, so right now, if the season ended today, which God willing, it would be 14th overall.
Ooh.
And that's, let's just say the Sharks have 1 and 14. Obviously you take your guy at 1, and then maybe 14 is some currency. Maybe you go to Pittsburgh and you say, hey, you guys are kind of fucked. You want it back? We'll take player X from you.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
It's definitely exciting. And I know like there's a long road here, but is it not kind of exciting that the Sharks seem to be one of these teams now that's like stacked with picks? Like,
Especially after how, the
I mean,
the last few decades have gone.
right, and the Sharks right now, and I want to stress right now, have 4 picks in the top 64, and it's after it's all said and done, that could easily be. I mean, I don't know. You could easily have 5, 6, or 7 there. I mean, you trade a guy at the right time, or you acquire a bunch of lesser picks, move up, move down. Like there's all kinds of options,
Yeah, and as you're saying, that's what they have now.
Yeah, currently. I mean, ask me again in 5 weeks.
Ooh, baby.
I'm gonna say that trade deadline might be might need to be a sick day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, dude.
I'm just saying it's on a Friday, so
that's gonna be the show. Man, just the idea of running around my head where it's like, oh my God, are they finally gonna have the pendulum swing the other way? Because we talked about it a while back that over the course, I forget there's like a 10-year window, and the Sharks drafted like, I don't know, like 64 guys, and like two of them it's LeBanc and Ferraro.
Yeah, it's really not at all spectacular.
No, not whatsoever. And and that was the joke, was the fact that there's only 2 guys, and let's be honest, one of them ain't going to be here next season. I mean, he's not even here now, to be honest. When was the last time you saw him on the ice?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's like
it makes you wonder, all these injuries, is this LeBanc trying to get ice time?
I mean, it's like you said, dude. Like, I mean, forget last year on the Sharks. Like, this very well could be the last year in the NHL, which I know maybe kind of sounds like piling on a bit, but based on what I've seen, I don't know that any team would be at all remotely interested in taking a chance. I mean, maybe on a 1-year league minimum, but I couldn't imagine it would be anything more than that,
Oh, one of those $1 million 1-year Doug Wilson special deals?
Right.
God. And it's so sad because, dude, were we not like some of the bigger LeBanc fans? We both had LeBanc jerseys at one point, for Pete's sakes.
Dude, I was a LeBanc fan
before it was cool.
4 months ago. Like like the way things have gone down the toilet so fast, like it's almost kind of staggering how quickly it's fallen apart.
It's just,
I do really quick, and maybe you mentioned it and I just missed it, but did you see Mitya's super chat?
Yeah, Niners.
Okay, cool.
No,
Want to make sure.
Yeah.
Called it.
But yeah, thank you so much for supporting the show. That's very cool. Ian saying someone will take a roll of the dice on Bank. I'm sure at the right price, anybody's going to get a roll. Hell, at the right price, the Niners just be like, hey, you know what? Fuck, you're not busy. You're not going anywhere. Just hang out.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but look, I can't.
We'll let you.
Imagine.
We'll let you go around the tank, following every game, and any change you find, you can keep it.
Right. I do agree with Ian. I think somebody will give LeBanc a chance, but like it's going to be 1 year league minimum. Like if you aren't, like if you are not, like honestly, if you are not better than our 13th best forward, we're just going to throw you on waivers.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, that sounds like hyperbolic and that sounds a bit dramatic, but I honestly kind of think that's where he's at.
And again, just so sad.
Really, yeah, because he's got skill. Like there's legitimate skill there.
Dude, there was a game that he had 4 assists.
You don't say.
I do say. You may have heard of it. All right. So the Sharks won a couple. The other thing was you had Quinn in the post game. If you we're 4-2-1 right now since the break, since that's a winning record, and then I'm like, oh my God, then what happened?
Yeah, well, see, that's one of those things where it's technically correct, but doesn't really mean anything, if you ask me.
Yeah, it doesn't tell the whole story, and again, we've talked about it, I think last week, the week before, where it's like it's numbers in context. And when you look at them through this lens, wow, what a great set of numbers. And then you go, oh, but let me show you from this side. And oh my God, what a house of fucking cards.
Right, exactly. Like you can say all you want, like, oh well, did you know that who was it? I believe it's Jan Rutta is on a 4-game point streak, which is awesome, but why does that matter? Not to say that he shouldn't be happy for himself, because he should, but like, it's not like, I don't know. Like, it's not really anything beyond being interesting, I guess.
Well, and the other, I just look at it as you got to be sitting there thinking, hey guys, at least, I don't know, one of us is upping our trade value.
I was gonna say, I had my guy.
You right. All right, so that's the week that was. Like I said, a couple wins, and it was like everybody was like, "Oh my God, Couture's back! We'll never lose another game." And then
we're back, baby.
Yeah, like the first half of the season was all just smoke and mirrors, man. We're back, and then and 2 games this week.
It's like have you ever seen? This is going to be an oddball reference. You ever see the second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie when he's like, I'm back, and then he falls. Yeah, he's yelling, I'm back, and then he falls lands on that car and hurts himself. Like, that's the Sharks.
Oh, dude. Oh, you should have said, you know what? God damn it. I would have memed that, but now that it's out there, somebody's going to take it. Okay. It's all good.
Hey, as you know what? It's on record that I said it first.
There you go. That's true. So you got 2 games this week before we head into the break. Again, another weird scheduling quirk. What was it? The previous week, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days off, Saturday game. Then this last week, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days off, then a Saturday game. And then this week off Monday, Tuesday, but you play Wednesday. Is that right? Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, they play.
No, my bad. Tuesday, Wednesday. Excuse me. 2 games, Tuesday, Wednesday, hosting Seattle, then you have to go down to Anaheim the next day.
So what you're saying is,
is a hockey schedule is occurring.
Is that we got 2 games coming up, which means next week's show might be a little quickie, and then in 2 weeks when there's no show, we could have a dang old time.
Hell yeah. Could be a doozy. Yeah, I'm just
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there now. If if Ian and Puck Guy or whoever, I'm just saying, the evening of February 11th at 7 p.m. that's open.
Yeah, dude, even if the Niners, let's be real, even if the Niners didn't make the playoffs this year, the fact is this podcast is talking about what the Sharks did that week, and if they have no games, they didn't do anything.
Exactly. And I can't imagine Hertl getting ripped off of the from the All-Star. What was he was supposed to get? MVP, right?
Yeah, I don't know, depending on who you ask. He was the uncrowned MVP in 2020.
Yeah.
He's the real MVP.
That's right. I just can't see that happening again 4 years later. So yeah, probably not going to be a lot to talk about. And we got Super Bowl parties to go to. So they did hold a State of the Sharks earlier this week on Thursday. And of course, crowbarring in a whole, well, see, you know what? I was going to say crowbarring in a new jersey reveal, and just based on everything that we've discussed and has been bandied about or whatever, I am not a conspiracy theory guy.
Why not?
just not. But I am fully on board now with you that this leak, all of it, it was all part of the plan.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, just because, and you know what gets me about it is, again, there's no fucking way that you have the jersey early before somebody else and you don't show an entire a full shot of it.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
There's just no fucking way. Especially if you, because the account that got the early break on this has somewhere, I think it's like 2,000 follows or something like that. You would think, here's my opportunity to build some clout, get some follows.
No kidding.
So it's like this. I call bullshit. I'm starting to think that this is like John Turturro's burner account or something.
That's a blast in the past.
Oh, dude. But yeah, the state of the Sharks. Okay, so the good part of this, which I thought was hell of awesome. First off, free parking. You know, this is an opportunity to, you know, to stick it to the fans. They didn't. So,
shout out.
Yeah, right. Free parking. But the big thing that blew me away, dude, they were giving out drink tickets, dude. Everybody got 2 free drink tickets. And we're not talking, you know, sodas and water only. It was, you know, we have a couple beers or have a couple glasses of wine or a couple cocktails or whatever. Now, you're not going to get, dude, straight up. We had, and they had, what was it? The Blue Moon. And they had they only had 2 beers, but they were good. It wasn't like here, Coors or Budweiser. It was, you know, Blue Moon and a Santa Cruz hazy IPA.
Okay, far out.
Yeah, so I'm like, solid, nice. So give the, but then again, when you want to, you know, tell the fans that you're going to suck for another couple of years, having them a little liquored up, probably a good thing. I don't know,
man. I'm it completely like derailed the conversation. I'm looking at NFC champion gear, and literally all the hats I want don't come in stretch fit.
Everything's snapback, right?
The only hats that come in stretch fit are hats that like I would not wear, you know?
Thank you, fanatics.
Yeah.
God, you suck.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. Well, you know what the real funny one earlier this week was? They put out the row of all 4 teams for championship weekend. Okay. And along the top, the image said 2024 NFL playoffs, and every fucking shirt said 2023 NFL playoffs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like
wah, wah.
Who isn't paying attention here? Like, Jesus Christ. And then instead of correcting the number, they just said, fuck it, erase it. Oh my God. Anyway, dude, so did you see the promo teaser with Raffi Torres?
I did. I thought it was real kind of interesting. I'll be honest here. I don't want to name drop, but I saw it and I'm like, is that Raffi Torres? And then there was a split moment where I thought it was like somebody who used to work in an organization that looked exactly like Raffi Torres. I'm like, is that guy? I literally couldn't decide one way or the other because they look so similar. But it did ended up being Raffi Torres, which I thought was an interesting shout.
Oh, well, and I understand that the whole thing is that they wanted a player with some sort of Hispanic background, which makes sense once you see the jersey, understand the idea behind it. But I was like, you know, what, Scott Gomez busy? But dude, Torres,
Scott Gomez hates the Sharks. I don't know if you know that or not.
Are you serious?
But, yeah, I don't remember where it came up, but whoa,
breaking news, everybody.
Not really. He more or less said, he was like, yeah, if I could have a do-over, I think Kevin Lacey, if he's here, will confirm me. He was like, yeah, if I could have a do-over, I wouldn't have signed there. And I think it had to actually, you know, David Pollock might have reported on that. I think I don't think it was as edgy as it sounds. I literally think it was just related to like ice time and that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got you.
But still, point still stands, I think.
Oh, and Ruben reminding me in the chat, dude. You know, should have been 1 drink ticket instead of 2, dude, because there was one guy. They only took like 6 questions.
Wait, somebody had a meltdown?
Well, I don't want to.
Was it you?
No. And what's funny though is that we were making the joke that it was Ruben. But no, man, this guy. See, so here was kind of the whole deal of the state of the Sharks. Like, you know, I'm going to call out the good things. I'm going to call out the bad. You know, we call both balls and strikes here, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing, you know, in typical fashion. They have Ruzi out there with Becker, Greer, and Todd Marchant. Mm-hmm. And a lot of pre-prepared, I wouldn't necessarily say softball questions, but they certainly weren't provocative.
Sure.
It was, it's like we're not here to jam anybody up, as you like to say.
Yep.
So, but they did kind of, I don't know. Like I felt like, for saying that much, I didn't really hear anything. And the other thing that kind of sucked is that they had everybody in 115, and if you were like above, say, row 10, you could probably hear it pretty well. But those of us that were like lower, dude, I'm like nudging Brett and I'm all, what did he just say? The audio sucked for the people that were down low.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so I was just kind of like, next time they just need to do like the personal PA that, just a couple speakers on stands next to them.
Sure.
And everybody, they don't need to do it on the full PA system. But I don't know. It definitely seemed like Greer. And again, what are you going to do? You're literally talking to the people that you want to give you the most money every year. So you're going to paint a rosy picture.
It's like do you recall there's an episode of Family Guy where the I forget who it is, the guy from Disneyland, he like gives Brian the Mickey Mouse ears and he's like, see you at Disneyland, bring money, and then just like speeds away. That's the state of the Sharks. Hey guys, William Eklund, bring money.
Oh man, see, now that needs
Tell
to be
me I'm wrong.
Yeah, dude, no, you're right there. But Steve, you can say that literally about like every franchise.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm saying it, but like, still.
Dude, again, nailing it. Yeah. Oh, dude, I want that on a T-shirt now. But,
dude, oh man, Michael Molasses, he's got a good Greer Photoshop every now and again. We might have to enlist him.
Oh, sweet. Bring So yeah, it was tough to hear most of what was being said depending on where you were sitting. Like I said, evidently if you were in the upper spots, it sounded fantastic.
Sure.
Because so halfway through it, Brett goes up to get the other two beers. We weren't smart enough to order them both at the same time.
Yeah.
So he went back up, and so when he comes back down with the beers, he goes, "By the way, it sounds great up there." But anyway, yeah, I thought there were just like too many prepped questions, because I think they only took like six questions, and there was I think there at least a couple hundred fans there, and and I'm like, how do you only take like 6 questions? Because when they had like the microphones going around, there was and I had my hand up, and nobody called on my ass, although I think we all know why, but.
Do you think, let me ask you this. So was this a situation where like people in the crowd were getting called on? Am I correct in saying that?
Well, people had their hands up if they had something to say, and they would bring the mic. And there was one fan that, God, I wish I would have written these down. Puck Guy would, of course, have a much better recall on this, but it said, okay, Ruben's helping me out here. One fan did disagree about Will Smith going back to college and not immediately playing in the NHL. Okay, that one, yes, I do remember.
What a weird hill to die on.
Dude, it was and I remember him invoking Marlowe's name. It was like,
oh, brother.
Marlowe was right in there and blah, blah, and how come and blah, blah, blah. But
remember when Chichu was on the team? Like, come on.
But dude, see now I'm waiting. We've both said now Chichu and Marlowe, and I'm going, okay, any second, both players who wore 14. So I'm like, any second now, Puck Guy's going to say something. We've invoked 2 of the Holy Trinity. If either of us says the name Ray Whitney, it's all over.
You just said it.
So anyway, yeah, there was one guy, and I'm kind of wondering, if I remember correctly, it was the last person that they took a question from that he was rolling, bro.
Really?
Yeah, he just like would not shut up, and he sounded like a little.
So is this the guy who had the meltdown?
Yeah, a little belligerent. I don't know. He didn't sound drunk, but it was definitely, I have some things to say. And dude just went for like a full minute. And, and of course, Ruben being a smartass is fucking texting Puck guy going, hey, come get your boy. But, oh my God. Yeah, and to sit there and watch Greer and Becker kind of, do that kind of like forced smile, like, we get what you're saying. And you can see in the back of their minds, they're like, holy crap, this alcohol thing may not have been a good idea.
You should have never let go of Pavelski.
That might have been said. Or maybe it was Carlson, something. I can't remember.
I can't believe we traded Tim Stützle. Like, well, you didn't, but all right.
Yeah. So
we could do a whole podcast about
dumb fans.
Dumb fan outrage.
That would be fun. So
again, and make no mistake, you are allowed to have whatever opinion you want, but also we are allowed to make fun of that opinion. So it's a two-way street.
Absolutely. So, but I'm happy they had the event. Happy I went to it. I again would have liked to hear more thoughtful comments or questions, but either way,
do we think there were any plants in the crowd?
God damn, that's a great. You've got me on this conspiracy kick now.
Because I'll tell you what, dude. If I was overseeing a team that was about to miss the playoffs for the 5th year in a row for the first time ever, and was doing a state of the state thing, I'd have some plants in the crowd,
dude.
For certain, I would.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You got me all loaded up on conspiracy.
Hey man, like if you just open your mind, dude, like you never.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man. No, it was. But again, credit to them for doing it. I hope they do it a little more often. But it's not as if people don't know where Becker is on Twitter. If they have a comment, the door is always open. So. Which I don't know that you can say that about most other hockey orgs.
I mean, we definitely, we're kind of biased because we have that information on hand, but I really couldn't say if any other teams, executive personnel are that available,
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, there's one team, I think, who, like, they're, I don't remember what team it is, but there's a team who's like highest level. They're on Twitter like, oh, come get your bitch ass, like they're real kind of over the top with what they're doing. But for the most part, I don't think there's that much kind of transparency.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Will Smith, and I see Kevin Way in here saying he's not NHL ready. My whole thing is, you know what? The team isn't ready for him.
Yeah, and that too.
Because
here's what's going to happen when he's on the fourth line with Giovanni Smith and Luke Cunnin. People, the people are going to be yelling and screaming all day.
Yeah. So it's like, who cares? We've made this reference, I don't know how many bajillion times. Look at Cap Friendly. There is a plan here, especially when you see that they have like 3 forwards that have a contract that lasts beyond this year.
Yeah, the dominoes are going to fall for him pretty soon.
Yeah, beyond this year, beyond next year. So, name me a 4th forward that has more than 2 years left on their deal. I don't think you can at the forward position.
Yeah, because it's like going into next year, it's
Couture, Hertl, and Eklund.
Couture and Eklund, yeah, and Zetterlund and Nico Sturm. Or do you mean after next year? Is that what you meant?
Well, like who has more than 2 years? I know it's a lot of 1 year and 2 years.
Well, more than 2 years, it's Hertl and Couture, but then you have
and Eklund.
And Eklund, yes, but then you like Zadina, Zetterlund, Cunnin. You technically have more than 2 years of team control, but
yeah, but I'm talking,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
on the books and all that. But anyway, so it definitely felt like there was a couple fans that were just, I think it was just a case of they, I just need to get this off my chest and now I feel better. And okay, here's your money.
Yeah, basically.
Sleepy asking, to be honest, how many sports teams do these kinds of state of the organization? I
Couldn't say.
could not say. I'm pretty sure. Well, the other thing is, let's be honest. It's for season ticket holders.
That too. Yeah.
So it's probably not promoted that well. So who knows? But
they should do it. They should do a State of the Sharks for the people who can't afford to go to the game.
That are big fans. Even some sort of virtual thing.
Yeah, can't afford to go to the game, but you watch every game on TV or you listen on the Sharks audio network. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Giants do one, but they did roll out the new Sharks jersey. So now that, I think I said this last week, what if we see it before we shit all over it? And now that we've seen it, get ready. Here comes a steaming pile.
Really? You don't like it?
No, it's fine.
I think it's really kind of actually, I think it's pretty rad. I gotta be honest.
I go back to, I liked my idea better.
Fair enough.
And when I say the idea, or I should say not my idea, but my mock-up. So I like the idea of all the stripes in it having that kind of serape vibe. Totally down with that. I just think with the heavy bold stripes and then underneath the thin, it's I don't know. I think you could have just done the thin stripes and it would have looked perfect.
Mm-hmm. I kind of see where you're coming from now, because it's kind of weird to get the full thick stripe and the thin stripes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, and it's kind of pick a lane, guys. I do like.
What if we did both?
I do really like the updated NorCal logo. Totally dig that.
That's sharp.
And it also goes to show that Puck Guy wasn't too far off from last October.
Yeah, Puck Guy was real dialed into that.
But I do like the NorCal logo. The thing that gets me though is the teeth in the collar.
Okay.
You
don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it. It's like, where have I seen that before? And I'm like, oh yeah, the thing that I did 4 years ago. So
I wonder.
Yeah, saw that, and then the fact. What are we calling this? Let's bring that back. The Cali fin. Now look, I'm not saying I invented shit. I'm just saying that they're calling theirs Cali fin, and if you go to SJ Sharks jerseys on Instagram, my jersey account, one of the jerseys that I created, I call the Cali Shark. The other one I call the Circle Fin. And what's funny is I'm pretty sure at one point I did do some one-off that someone requested, and I think we did refer to that as Cali Fin. And I'm like, all right, fine. Again, you want to, do you want to use stuff as inspiration? Absolutely. I'm just saying, just throw me one. That's all. It's all cool. But, dude, wearing them in 11 straight home games, that's a choice, eh?
I like it. Why not?
I mean, it's definitely we're committing to this.
Yeah, well, and they want I just think, and I know this is something for me personally, I always get on people more than just the Sharks, pretty much any professional sports team. If you're going to do something, a jersey, a theme night, a style, whatever, be fun, be interesting, right? And I think ostensibly making this jersey your home jersey to finish the season, I think is fun,
Mm-hmm. Oh, my bad. I guess when I loaded in the Cali stuff, I didn't mute the secondary audio. Sorry, guys.
Well, the people, they just really wanted to make sure that I was heard.
Steven, you're fired. The other thing that kind of was just funny to me after what you said earlier about, William Eklund, bring money. Dude, that's what this event was, dude. Because, oh my God, did they have merch for sale when everything was said and done.
Smart.
Exactly, smart. You see me wearing a new shirt, don't you?
That is a pretty nice shirt, I will say. That shirt kind of gives 1990s vibes.
dude. And why do you think I got it?
Yeah, because you love the 90s.
Well, I love the designs that came from the 90s.
Sure.
And the music, no, I'm kidding. But as soon as
hey, Red Hot Chili Peppers is a 90s
I
band,
know. But I saw
they provided our theme song, them, obviously.
Hey, now. I saw, as soon as I saw this shirt, I was just like, holy fuck. I'm like, when did Starter come back? Like, I was just, oh my Lord, that is a good looking shirt. And I'm like, where have these been hiding? Like, San Jose Sharks, whoever did this, let them do more. Give them free reign. This is like the sleeve length is exactly right for this size. It fits. Like, as soon as I saw it, I went, there's no way in hell Fanatics did that. No fucking
who is it?
way. I don't even know. I've never heard of the company.
What is the company?
Shit. I don't know.
Take it off.
Okay. All right. Vamp for 5 seconds.
All right. So here we are live in San Jose, California. AJ is taking off his shirt. And I don't know if we're getting a show or not. We are not going to get a show, but we are going to know what brand the T-shirt in question is.
All right.
And it is
Blue 84. And here's the thing.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
This is how much I liked this shirt.
What size is the one in your hand?
So the one I'm wearing is 2XL. This one is triple XL.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because dude in line was, he got me all fucked up because he was like, I said, double X, because I like Daddy likes a roomy shirt. We like to be able to breathe. Yeah, and Chief in the line next to me, he goes, "Oh, you might want to size up, bro. You've seen the way those things get smaller." And I went, "Oh, fuck, he's probably right."
I got a couple of questions for you. The 2X you're wearing right now, have you washed and dried it yet?
No.
Okay, and is it?
But I'm not going to put it in a dryer, wash it, and then hang it so it won't shrink it.
So how's it fitting for you right now? Is it perfect? Is it kind of roomy or?
Perfect. Exactly the way I like a shirt to fit.
Okay, so follow-up question then. What will it take for that shirt you were showing off to make its way to my domicile?
Oh, just a reimbursement, if you will.
Perchance. Okay, that can be arranged. Or perchance, I don't know if you know, but this year's Super Bowl is going to be in the city I live in. Perchance there's some Niners related swag I could put my eyes on for you and do a little exchange.
All right. Yeah, we can do a little horse trading.
Yeah, I don't want to, I kind of want to vibe it out, but I do plan on making an appearance at the stadium to see if I can get any swag. I'm anticipating at least 2 or 3 pins, perchance a stretch fit hat if they've got them.
Oh, dude, we're so off the rails.
Hey, dude, that's when we're at our best, I think.
Well, anyway, though, but to get back to this, like I'm saying, dude, whoever came up with this, dear awesome. God, please pay them to do more. Like, and you used a good shirt. It's, it's not those paper thin 47s that I hate, but they're not the fucking beefy Hanes, tee so thick. You're like, wait a minute, is this a sweatshirt or a t-shirt? Like, this is right in the fucking zone. This is what the 90s were. Shirts that fit right at the right size with a good design. And, I hope they continue letting them go. But, dude, talk about bring money. I mean, patches, pins, hats, Fanatics jerseys, Adidas jerseys. I'm trying to remember. I think the Fanatics jerseys, and someone help me out, whether it's Ruben or Eric, and Ruben already saying that damn shirt is sold out. Dude, that's what I'm telling you, man. When you got something good, man, be prepared. That was the other thing. Dude, I couldn't believe shit sold out. I'm kind of like, okay, who didn't prepare properly? Like, is this
did they prepare properly and it still wasn't enough?
Yeah, perhaps, because I believe they're out of patches. The the shoulder patch, I don't know if I think they still had pins. They also did say they're like, if you didn't get shit today, come to the store tomorrow.
Sure.
So, but yeah, they did run out of a couple things. But dude, they definitely had a selection to go with this, and I'm sure over those next 11 games they'll be pushing it. But it'll be interesting to see not only how it looks on the ice and on TV, and finally, because dude, I can't even remember the last time they didn't wear teal or white. It's been a minute.
Yeah, that's a good point, because obviously no stealth this year. I believe stealth was on hiatus last year to accommodate reverse retro too.
Yeah, so been quite some time.
Yeah, so I guess that would have been COVID season 3. Remember the one, the season that Bob Bugner got fired.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna be interested to see how that's rolling. See how many people that you see at the tank rocking the new jersey. See how these sell. The other thing I'm interested, since we're such jersey hounds, I don't know. It just seems interesting. Like it takes a year and a half to 2 years to go from like concept to product being sold in the store, being worn on the ice.
Right.
And this, and let's be honest, the Adidas could have like really fucked this up and been like, later, bitches, we gone anyway. But I dig this. But again, it is kind of weird though. Like I'm interested to see how many people like, oh fuck, we need to get the Adidas version before Adidas or Fanatics fucks this up. And when is that transition going to occur? And are the Sharks are going to be like, okay, everybody, get your last Adidas version of what the hell, Cali Finn, get the Adidas one before we transition to Fanatics, and everybody hates it.
See, and I'm not totally sure that that's going to be the play, because if you recall back the first season of Adidas, which at this point would have been 6 years ago, the Adidas was like, we love third jerseys, but the first year we're not going to do them because we want to focus on home and away, which whatever, that's fine. But I do get the vibe that it is going to be the same approach where, like, if you've already got a third jersey, you'll keep it. If you don't, you got to wait. But I think the waiting a year to get our ducks in a row thing is going to be seen more on like the retail side of things. Like, I would almost wonder if, outside of the home and away jerseys, it takes a minute to get the Fanatics versions of like alternate jerseys, That
the other thing that
long-winded way of saying the Adidas ones will probably stick around longer than the on ice versions.
But I'm interested in as well in seeing will, once Fanatics takes over everything, will we see them move back to the whole replica on ice? That's it. No, middle option. That
if they want
to
if they want to ingratiate themselves with the fans, they will.
Yeah, that would be
nice. I don't know that they really have a history of doing that. So.
But remember, if you want those on ice ones, bring money.
Yeah, bring money.
Dude, should have just called the show "Bring Money."
Still can.
That's true. So let's move on to our hero and zero. And I said it earlier, but Rutta, some key assists. I think it's like a +1 with 4 points this week. I mean, he scored a goal, for Christ's sakes. So Rutta, you the man.
For me, it's going to be Couture, just because I think for missing most of the season, I thought he came in and played with some jump immediately. But also, and I know, people got a lot of commentary about Couture as a leader, a player, a person, all that kind of stuff. And, I'm not here to judge that, but it's obvious, regardless of whether or not you like him, it's obvious that his return did give the Sharks a shot in the arm. And so I think you have to call that out.
Dig that. Before we get to zero, though, I see a question from Sleepy that I'm interested in, but I'm trying to figure it out. Does anyone know why the Pro Shop versus the Shark Shop on their main website? Anyone better than the other? Is this
what is that question asking? I'm not totally sure.
I'm wondering if they're saying the shop at Shark's Ice versus the shop at the tank. Like, what's the differences and all of that, and so. My thing would be, if you want a jersey done, customized, whether you want a current player, or if you want, like, your own personal name and your own personal number or whatever. If you're going to go either way, I would go through the Pro Shop. From what I understand, they stitch, tackle, twill, or you just go through Eastside Stitch jerseys. That guy's that dude's awesome. Fucking killer prices, does top-notch work, gets his kits from the same company who does the actual Sharks jerseys. So stuff is legit. The Pro Shop, it's mostly, they have some Sharks stuff, but it's mostly like skates, sticks, gloves, tape, it's like hockey equipment. And then they also have some Sharks stuff, but it's mostly jerseys. And they do have like a couple polos or, some quarter zip type stuff, but the selection is relatively small. But they will generally have stuff that isn't at the Shark store at the tank. And then same thing, vice versa. The Shark store, they've got stuff like plushie dolls and they have stuff that's marketed to kids as well as adults, which I don't believe the Pro Shop really has anything marketed towards children.
No, you're absolutely right. The shop at Shark's Ice is definitely more of a hockey equipment shop first, and then it's like, oh yeah, we got some clothing as well.
Yeah. So
whereas at the arena, it's more of like what you would consider like merchandise.
Exactly.
There you have it.
0 for the week. I mean, I don't mean to pile on, but LeBanc.
Do it.
Dude.
Do it, coward.
LeBanc.
La bench.
Yeah, dude. I think you're going to be you could be my 0 for the rest of this goddamn season.
Record a blurb about how LeBanc is your 0, and we'll do a drop. That'll be like the pee break.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No doubt. All right. Who's yours?
Oh gosh. I don't know. Like this.
Say it, you coward.
I'll be totally truthful. I really am kind of struggling a bit, just because I don't know that anybody was
you all equally sucked.
Yeah, it was like everybody was like egregiously bad. I mean, I guess kind of as a similar to what you're saying, kind of like a perpetual 0 is the Burroughs Okhotiuk pairing, just because it's not great.
Yeah.
Like even the 2 games against LA and New York Rangers, like, the team was clicking for most of the game, and like that pairing was still just like, oh gosh, okay, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I should follow up with Ricky's comment that says that the Pro Shop at Shark's Ice has some solid CCM hats. Absolutely, and that's the other thing that I probably should have noted. The Pro Shop has stuff, like CCM, Bauer, they've got literally the pro stuff, thus the name Pro Shop. There you go. That's probably why it works out. But last time I looked at the Sharks store at the tank, they don't have CCM stuff. They don't have Bauer stuff. In fact, the hat that I'm wearing, while it does say New Era, or has the New Era logo on the side, the back does have the Bauer logo. So, and I'm almost positive I got this at the Sharks shop.
That's a sharp hat.
Or the Pro Shop, excuse me. Yeah, me diggy. Stealth, bitches, but goes with the new Cali fin as well. Oh. Speaking of which, see, I brought money, dude.
Say it.
I brought money.
Bring money.
Bring money. I brought money. I like some of this stuff. All right, so NHL related as we try to get out of here. So obviously there was some news that not really anybody wanted to get into, but on that same day, the Smith Entertainment Group, the parent company of the Utah Jazz, formally announced or asked the NHL to initiate the expansion process to bring a team to Salt Lake City. And of course, I, along with everybody else for the most part, said, Just move the Yotes already.
No kidding.
Like, I mean, look, I understand. And somebody said, but we want hockey in the desert. And I'm like, you can have hockey in the desert. You just don't need the NHL there.
It really sucks. I'll be totally honest with you. It really sucks at the whole situation with the Arizona Coyotes because when they play well and they have a good setup, they draw. Like, if you look at the Coyotes, like when the Coyotes were in downtown Phoenix, they drew.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of shitty that all of this has transpired, and they can't figure it out because like when that team's in the right setup, like they draw, they can do well, they can be impressive. And selfishly, if the Coyotes moved to Salt Lake City, no more Kachina.
You get her now. But
So
I don't know. The other thing that had me going when I heard about them trying to, wanting to fire up somebody to bring the NHL to Salt Lake, I'm going, wait a minute. The NHL are not known as trailblazers. And, using that term, knowing that there's an NBA team with that name, pun not intended, but they would be the first league to blow through the 32-team ceiling.
yeah, after being the last team to get there.
Right? Well, no, baseball I don't think is there. I think baseball's still at 30.
Nobody cares about baseball.
That's true.
To be honest.
But still, I just, and you can't just bring in one team. You kind of got to do this in pairs. Now, granted, there's a couple years between Vegas and Seattle, but still, like, so are we putting a team in Houston then as well? Since we keep talking about that.
Yeah, I mean Houston, Kansas City,
Quebec.
it should be, but it never.
Or
will
a second team in Toronto.
Dude, a second team in Toronto is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Like again, like for even if logistically it makes sense, you're not gonna get any Leafs fans to all of a sudden be like, yeah, Toronto 2.0, I love those guys. Like,
unless the tickets are like a quarter of the price of Maple Leafs tickets.
The only way a second team in Toronto is going to have success is if they go there and then sit and wait for 15 years so that the next generation can grow up as fans of the team.
That, or they go straight Vegas and they win a cup in 6 years.
It's a fair point. That would be hilarious. Hilarious if
dude, wouldn't that
so
be the
funny.
best thing ever for the Leafs?
You know what? I'm starting to think that the NHL needs to make exactly that happen.
Oh, they need to get the NFL script writers over there.
Hey, dude, no purple team wins. It's fine.
Oh, man.
The script's out.
And speaking of the NBA, dude, how does an NBA team fire a head coach that's 30-13? I don't get, dude, after 43 games, every NHL team would love that record.
Dude, at that record, I'm pretty sure you get an extension.
Yeah, like I don't even understand how that happened. Yeah. All right, tweet of the week. Just get into it. I'm not even going to do the thing. What do we think about the? Okay, we're muted up there, so that one we should all be good here. No echoing. What are we thinking about these Stadium Series jerseys?
I never thought I would see the day that Philadelphia Flyers, I never thought I would see the day the Philadelphia Flyers would put out a good jersey. And then they did that with their new jerseys this year. And then I told myself I never thought I'd see the day they'd put out good jerseys twice in a row. And yet they have. Like, of the four, the Flyers one is my favorite, shockingly enough. I know this is going to be controversial. I really dig the Rangers one too, even though I know a lot of people don't. The Devils one is fun but kind of boring. The Islanders one, it looks like the Oilers third jersey and the Predators reverse retro jersey had a baby.
See, to me, I look at the Isles one and I'm going, I feel like there's a meme about, can I copy your homework? Okay, but change it enough so whatever. And all I see is the Smashville Stadium
Right.
jersey.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one I was referring to, not reverse retro. But
Okay.
but here's the thing, dude. How soon? When are these games? February something, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, at some point between now and when this game is played, that Isles jersey is going to be photoshopped so that the only letter remaining on the orange strip is the L. Guarantee you.
How has that not already been done?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that gets me though, and again, I don't know who's at fault. Whoever it is should get fired.
Mhm.
The fact that, as you say, the game is being played in like 3 weeks. We're just now seeing this merch come out, and
Mhm.
I've already seen people complaining. They're going, I want to buy this jersey, and by the time I buy it and it gets delivered, the game will have been played already.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think that there are some people that are going to want a player on the back, and maybe it's not like the captain, or it's not somebody super popular? Like, what if somebody wants a Timo Meyer Devils jersey?
I don't know why you would, but sure.
That's all I'm saying. But there might be that one guy, and if it's not available or it can't be gotten by the time the game is, like, I just you say that thing earlier about bring money, and sometimes I'm just kind of like, how are you leaving so much money on the table, or why is there such a lack of foresight in, like, you could make this more of an event. Like, when you announce the stadium series, you could announce it with the jersey designs.
Well, and that's the other thing too, and I kind of feel like Kevin Lacey has led the charge in this conversation, but the NHL has done such a shitty job at marketing and frankly notifying people about outdoor games that aren't the Winter Classic.
Oh,
Like,
big
do
time.
you know how many people, like, especially when they do the Heritage Classic and it's like the second Saturday of the regular season, like, you know how many people turn on the TV and they're like, whoa, where is this game being played? Like, you know what I mean?
Totally. I just. I think the Rangers, or the Devils one, I think it would be better if there was some sort of outline to the logo.
Sure.
There's something about it that is like throwing me off. I don't know what it is, but there needs to be just a little something more. Like you see, like the drop shadow on the NYR. Like, it needs something.
Well, and make no mistake, I like the Devils one. I just think it's boring, you know?
Fair point. So out of these, you're going Phillies, definitely your
Yeah, Philly, Rangers, Devils, Islanders.
yeah, I'd probably go that way too. It is really weird though, just to see NYR on the front.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, if you go to I think it's either Sports Logos or Aesthetics, one of those, somebody did, like, that whole website has an entire section of people like, come submit your ideas,
Mhm.
mock-ups, and somebody almost damn near completely nailed the Rangers one.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was just
Shout
like,
out to them.
exactly.
They had the script.
Well, and my whole thing was like, oh, here comes someone else who's like, doesn't even, poor sap doesn't get any credit, but all right, whatever. Let's give out a prize so I can get out of here. I gotta go to bed. I'm exhausted. Couture's ice time. How'd that work out? Did they shelter him, or did they let him go?
He was a little bit sheltered. He did hit 20 minutes in the first two games, but only 15 against Buffalo. 15 and change.
Which is kind of odd considering that's the game that they were behind.
Right.
Well, I mean, they weren't behind early, so who knows? But I mean, they did have the first two goals, and then. So, how are we looking? What was the number?
So Couture, he ended up with let me crunch this really quick. Crunch it. He ended up with 56 minutes and 55 seconds of ice time across these three games.
Cool.
So just under that hour mark.
All right.
And your winner,
Is
first-time winner.
Another first. Are we going to run this whole season like that? That would be so cool.
First-time winner, per chance, a first-time player. I'd have to go back and check the record book.
Welcome to the show.
Perchance a first-time player, and drum roll with 55 minutes and 55 seconds, 1 minute off.
Wow.
Jake Takahashi.
Whoa. All right,
That is our big winner. I have emailed them for a shipping address. I have not heard back because I emailed them 5 minutes ago.
Well,
and there you go.
Fun. I don't know that it's a fun fact per se. I just know it to be a fact, evidently. That did you know that like Takahashi in Japan is like the Smith of America?
Huh.
Like half the people in Japan are named Takahashi or something like that. It is like one of the most common names.
Interesting. Do you know anybody with that last name?
Yes, I do. So I'm just saying. And they were the one that told me.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so we only got 2 games this week.
Gotta be something nuanced then if it's 2 games, right?
Yeah, so
I almost feel like
run it, dude.
I almost feel like because it's 2 games, and as we've talked about, there's so many different ways things can go. I almost feel like we need to go back to the ice time well again.
Ice time well. The other thing that popped into my head is like, what if it was like just combined goals overall highest? But again, it's such a limited pool of answers with only 2 games.
Unless you did combined goals in both games for including both teams.
Yeah, no, but still. Such a limited pool of answers that we'd end up giving away like there'd be like 7 prizes we'd have to give out. It's like it's too over the top. So what's your big idea? Particular player, or what do you want to do?
See, I did come up with a good idea, but it won't work if there's no guarantee that he even plays. I was going to say
LeBanc ice time.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
what I was going to say.
Love it.
But, well,
after we sat there and said, "Oh yeah, Chief's been benched for 3 straight games," as of
how many people would put 0?
Oh,
You know what I
dude,
mean?
I would. I mean, talk about we're literally the podcast that has mentioned law of averages more than any other podcast combined.
Okay, I got one here and this is relevant to what's been going on. Shakir Mukhamadullin ice time.
Oh, yes. All right then. So,
and again, same thing. Maybe he gets sent down to the Barracuda, and guess what?
Oh, yeah, but you know what? See, that's the fucked up part, though, because if he gets sent down, it's going to happen before game 1, most likely, and then everybody knows that they only have to have their answer in by puck drop. And so when they all find out about it, you're going to get 28 emails that all say 0.
Well, and what I really think it hinges on is how soon before Ferraro comes back. Because if Ferraro's not coming back before the All-Star break, I think he'll play.
That's true. The other thing is between now and next. Here's the 3-dimensional chess play, kids. We're going with Shakir Mukhamadullin ice time for this week.
2 games.
Okay, but if he gets sent down, it's also his ice time for the Barracuda. So that's why I'm saying this is going to be like 4D chess here, kids. So ice time.
Does the AHL track ice time?
Oh, fuck. Come on. They have to, right?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't.
Well, we'll have to look into that.
Like, I don't doubt that they track it. I guess a better question is it available for public consumption?
Well, if not, we'll have to fire off an email to Nolenberger. Be like, hey, bro. All right. So we're going to just say Shakir Mukhamadullin, ice time, provided he plays on Wednesday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are the games, right? Yes, Tuesday and Wednesday, Seattle at Anaheim. So total ice time, you have to have it in before the puck drop, of course, on Tuesday. So total ice time over those 2 games.
Survey says no, the AHL does not publicly reveal ice time.
Okay.
So we might need to do something else.
No. This is what we're doing. Total ice time over those 2 games, Mukhamadullin.
Okay.
If you want to try to be funny and put 0 whatever, and then we find out Mukhamadullin doesn't play at all, then you know what? We're not giving out a prize next week. There's been times where we've given out 2, 3. We've done instant ones.
Today's the first weekend we've given out 1 prize, I think, in 3 weeks.
Exactly. So if Mukhamadullin gets sent down between now and Tuesday, then there's going to be no prize next week. But what I will do is I'll do an instant prize during the live show like we did.
Love that.
Yeah. So
love that.
That way we're giving away something next week.
Love that. Keeping the streak alive, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So Shakir, ice time, baby, or instant. So it's in the books, people. One more home game was played and 4 goals were not scored.
I know.
So 19 games left. So I guess, I don't know, you have a little hope with Seattle this week?
I'm still having, I still have good pacing because you said it's 1 every 5, right?
Yes. Well, although that number is beginning to shrink now. Because now,
sure, but as long as I get it in the next 4 games, though, I'm keeping pace.
Yes.
So here we go.
Yeah, Seattle, Columbus, Vegas, and Nashville.
Columbus.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Seattle has been kind of, right? Let's see, Seattle.
Lately, yes, but all told, they are a good team.
All right. Well, 10-9-6 away. 5-4-1 over their last 10. The last game was an overtime winner, and but boy, they got a -7 on the goal differential there. Although that's nothing compared to the Sharks -93. And then the Ducks. Let's see, 7-17-1 at home. 4-5-1, and you know that they want that number. But I project a loss versus Seattle, but a win versus Anaheim.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's so Sharks. And of course, this week really pissed off a lot of San Jose fans, especially the one sitting in this chair, because now the Blackhawks are right there in points percentage at 32nd. 2-8-0, 4 straight losses. Ugh.
I need the Birdman to come back.
Yeah, man. And San Jose has a game in hand. Oy. Jesus Christ. When Chicago played Columbus and Anaheim and Ottawa, right? When's that stretch happening? With Bedard. So the two games this week, like I said, have your picks in at hockeyjerk10@gmail.com. That's the email to put your answers in. Again, has to be submitted before puck drop on Tuesday.
You can also DM it to me on Twitter if you don't want to give out your email.
Oh, see? Nice fella. At hockey_jerk on the Tweety. So,
on X.
Oh God, yeah, I'm, dude. I haven't updated the icon on my phone. It still has the bird and everything like that. So that's when that happens. That's when I'll finally call it X. So hosting Kraken on Tuesday, heading to Anaheim the following night before getting a solid 2 weeks off during the All-Star week and the bye. Also, next week's show, next Sunday, might be a scotch late. It might not. We're not sure. But that's because I do plan to be at the AHL All-Star event evening that happens next Sunday, and that's supposed to run from 5 to 7. So with any luck, I'll watch an hour, then cruise home. But if it gets interesting, I may stay for a little bit. So the next week's show may start at like 7:30 if that happens. But if not, whatever. And as we said, we definitely off on Super Bowl Sunday, kids. So there you go. I don't know if somebody's going to do something to fill that time slot. We shall see. I think a lot of people are probably going to be watching the little football game
I was gonna say, I think the wife and I are gonna have to count our shekels and see if we can make an appearance.
Yeah, right, dude. Because it's because the Super Bowl typically starts at like 3:30 local time.
Yeah, 3 Pacific is when it'll start.
Yeah, but the actual ball being kicked off, that shit doesn't happen until usually like 25 after.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got all the commercials, the unnecessarily extended halftime. So, the show or the football game usually doesn't end until about 7 anyway. So,
right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If Sharky looking for clout. If this tweet gets 1,000 likes, I will shoot myself out of a cannon on Tuesday night during the game. I'm just going to go ahead and guess that that's already happening. Has no bearing on how many likes. I'm thinking that's already in the works. So, 49ers, baby. Let's get a little revenge. Let's avenge the Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs. When was that? Like 5 years ago or something?
Yeah, it was in 2020.
There you go. So let's avenge me.
And worth saying, the Niners are very lucky the last 2 games they were able to get their head on straight and get some wins. So in the Super Bowl, I don't want it to ever be in doubt. Like I want them to start hot and finish hot. You know what I mean? Because these last 2 games have been real, life alert concern games.
Big time, dude. And this might be a fun, although I don't know how we'd have any way in hell of tracking it, although I'm sure somebody will be doing this. But what could be a fun game to play for a prize is between from 3 o'clock until from 3 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep.
Until it says all zeros on the scoreboard or on the game clock.
Yeah.
How many times are the words Taylor Swift mentioned? Closest without going over.
So it's funny that you say that. So every year on Super Bowl, so me being the degenerate gambler and my mother-in-law being a planner of events, shall we say, every year on the Super Bowl, me and my mother-in-law, we get into cahoots and we whip up like a family Super Bowl pool. And so try and find a mixture of like game related questions and then like prop questions. And for sure, like Taylor Swift's going to be in there, of course. She has to be. But then also, and what I'm thinking is like to your point, between kickoff and 0 minutes, 0 seconds on the clock, how many times is Super Bowl 54 going to be mentioned? Because, every time there's a big, 4 years ago, you just know.
Of course. Well, and I was thinking, watching the Niner game today, I'm like, at halftime, I'm like, there's a bro somewhere at halftime that is like on his way to the tattoo parlor to get that Lions Super Bowl champs.
I'll do you one better. So going into halftime, the Lions were up 24-7 at halftime. Am I correct?
Sounds right.
So Ryan, our buddy.
Yes, sir.
Ryan texted me basically saying to the effect of, I'm feeling froggy.
Uh-oh.
And he sends me a screenshot. He bet on Niners money line when they're down by 17. And they won, obviously.
They didn't cover the spread though, right?
No, but he did money line, which I believe when he sent it to me, I believe was plus 370, I want to say. Nice. And I think and it wasn't anything spectacular. I think he might have threw $10 on there, but still, to have that large of balls to be like down by 17, run it.
Oh, dude, no,
he's in the chat. I want to see if he comments on it.
Talk about fucking bring money.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
You
know what it was? Ryan's like, okay, don't tell anybody. I got a copy of the script early.
Well, and I found out about this like way after the fact because I was so on edge during the game that like I wasn't even like literally my phone was on the kitchen counter and I'm pacing around the living room, like just nervous. And of course, yeah, look at Ryan. And that Ryan and I always have a joke. Like the Niners
never in doubt.
Yeah, never in doubt. but like my phone was on the kitchen counter and I'm like pacing around the living room stressed out. My wife's taking pictures of me. I'm like, don't fucking send that to anybody, please. Like, so yeah.
Oh, dude.
There's your feel good story.
Well, I got to tell you, before we came on, I mentioned to you that I wasn't feeling that well today. So I was on the couch watching the first half of the game, and I'm kind of like for whatever reason I kind of like resigned in my head. I'm like, fucking the football gods want Eminem versus Taylor Swift. This is what's going to happen. So I just was like, I'm like, fuck, Detroit's going to win this. You watch. And then when it got to that, 24/7 or whatever you were talking about at halftime, I went, oh, fuck this. And I just went and laid down. And I had the TV on, I had the game on in the background, but I'm like, I was hoping to get a little bit of a nap or something because I knew we had the show tonight. So I was just trying to try to get a little bit just, ugh. And then at one point, like my ear perks up by somebody going, can you believe the Niners have come back from, and I was like, come back from what? And I opened my eye and the game's tied. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? And yeah, I couldn't believe it. So hopefully they're able to pull off one more miracle out their ass. And
I just
finally get that sixth ring.
Well, like I said, the last two games, they've just like let's just be honest, they've been bad games that they've been fortunate enough to come back in, and I just want to see a good game.
Yeah. Oh, Dank is asking for a CUDA update. Yeah, they stopped losing. There's your update.
Yeah, they're on a little run. So I'm told.
Yeah. But Ian and his pals, they'll have all the Barracuda stuff going. Nothing else here, right? Okay, cool. So, famous last words or whatever. How's it looking now that we're 2 weeks out? Is it getting insane in Vegas with the Super Bowl coming to town?
Yeah. So here's the funny thing. I don't know if I told this story or not, but at the Bellagio fountain for Formula One, they had set up like grandstands and they'd had a whole thing there.
Didn't they cut down a bunch of trees to do that?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And so they so they had a fence up kind of blocking that outside lane just to give the construction workers like more room to operate, and I think the grandstands also came out into the road. And so Formula One tears all that stuff away, and by the time it's all gone, I think Super Bowl is like, at that point it was like a month out, I think. And so literally the fence from Formula One, they just left it there. And
keep it.
Yeah, and now the NFL is like, oh, we already got this lane closed, and so they're, CBS is setting up their panel on the Bellagio fountain. I haven't been on the South Strip in a minute, but I imagine there's some kind of stuff going on that way as well. I'm gonna be really interested to see what it all looks like in a week, just because, from obviously working on the Strip and then, my experience when it was in Santa Clara, it kind of takes over the city that whole week. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I'm interested to see my wife. She's heading to Vegas in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And she's going to be there, I think, from like Monday through Thursday, and so she leaves just before Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl.
And she's like, how bad is it going to be? And do you think we're going to get just raked for everything? And I was going, no, it's, and I'm like, I can't, like, the day that you're leaving is probably when fans would maybe start coming in. I figure Thursday, Friday, whatever. And
it depends on how much fan engagement stuff there is.
Well, it's that, but then I was thinking, I go, oh, you know what? Fucking media day, when all the media comes in, and I'm like, that's probably going to be like the Tuesday before the game. I'm like, yeah, you might just want to park your ass at a blackjack table and not move for a few hours. And she was like, well, that was happening anyway. But I don't know. Should be interesting. But I mean, you talk about bring money, bro. The room that they're staying in, like, they're getting comped the room.
Nice.
That same, like, and that's why they went like Monday through Thursday. And they booked this, I don't know, 6 months ago or some shit. maybe even longer. But bro, that same room that they're staying in, they said starting what I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever is like $1,000 a night.
Oh.
Like, you've got to be, and they're staying at I think Palazzo or Venetian or something.
Okay.
And it's just woof. But I'm going, dude, if the Super Bowl's in town, I'm thinking the Golden Nuggets getting $1,000 a night.
Yeah,
You
no
know?
kidding.
Fuck, bro. So anyway, nice talking about football there for a hot minute. We'll probably do some more of that later. Just you won't be hearing us do it. That's all. So on Twitter, you can find him at hockey_jerk. You can find me at AJ_strong. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave your take in the comment section of the video if you did not join us live. And if you didn't join us live, well, what the hell? Come on, man. Help keep us commercial free by using that super chat option, or better yet, find us on Venmo at Tealtown USA. Remember, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, new review, 5-star rating is always appreciated. And if you want the invite to the Discord server, hit up hockey_jerk on the Tweety or X, whatever. And links to all of our Tealtown stuff is always found at tealtownusa.com or in the show notes. So, again, might be a little late or might be right on time next Sunday. It will be a crapshoot, depending on how everything happens with the AHL All-Star events. So, we thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us on a Sunday. And I guess for the next 2 weeks, go Niners.
Yes, sir.